Blade Lord McUglyface. Check this out. This is a different boss. Let's put it that way. We're going to get right into it, jump right into it, talk about a few tips and tricks you could employ. Okay, there's definitely some things that could really make a difference as a healer on this fight. Not a super intense healing fight overall, but there's a few things that hopefully I'm going to tell you guys that maybe you didn't know that could be the difference between you killing this boss as a healer and not. Okay, talking about 25 man, you'll likely be starting here to maximize the room. Don't worry about it as a healer. Just realize tanks might be out of line of sight. Now, I mean, we're getting right into this, right? Freaking holy pallies, man. They got some real cool stuff they can do on this fight. What I would recommend, what I do, okay? When the abilities come out, let's take a look at them, huh? We got to make sure everybody knows what they're called. Okay, wind step. First things first, he's going to teleport to a random player, do some damage, going to put a bleed on him. Guess what? Bleed can be bopped off. Yeah, time for clemency, right? Double bops. So you have two holy pallies. What you want to do is just pay attention to who's taking the bleed damage. Freaking bop them right off. You know what I mean? Gone. That portion of the fight eliminated. You're only probably going to have a few bops per fight, but that is tip number one that I recommend everybody who has that option to do. Make sure holy pallies are doing it. I don't think any other classes can really help with that, but that's step one. Okay, step two. This is something that most groups probably don't realize, don't exercise as an option. We're talking about the, Blade Tempest, right? Yep. Yeah. So the bit where everybody has to stack up with the arrow, he's going to knock everyone back like a shockwave type thing, okay? Well, here's a really good option. Discipline Priests, anybody who can do this, I wouldn't recommend doing it as a monk or a druid as you're already quite effective on the move. But anyone who could put out some massive absorbs or standstill heals, Shaman would probably be the weakest. I'd recommend Discipline Priest or Holy Pally. Just stay out. Okay? Might not look like the best idea, but the sporadicness that this ability carries is devastating sometimes. So if you can get some mastery bubbles from either spec, discipline, or Holy Pally out as it's happening, as the raid's getting knocked away, getting them healed up as quick as possible, this makes a huge difference. I find myself going in, getting hit around, not very optimal, you know what I mean? Obviously, I can't heal, and then I'm in a strange position. So you can just keep one healer. I definitely don't recommend keeping more than one, maybe two, but just keep the healers there, getting the heals out as soon as that group gets hit, and trust me, you'll see a difference. Okay, that's kind of it in terms of the first phase for a general look. More specifically, what's going to happen if you're two tanking, tanks are going to get hit pretty hard. This should go without saying, but make sure you have coordinated cooldowns. Once again, Holy Pallies have a really cool double hand of sack here. I mean, you could get some sacks out, and then you got Discipline Priests, stuff like that. As for the Blade Tempest, the shockwave type knockback thing, if you're a shaman, I would go ahead and make sure you have a totem down. Spirit Link is crazy for this. It's really crazy because even if not everybody gets hit, it'll distribute the damage to everyone in the raid. So it's like, it doesn't matter only if a few get hit, it's still going to distribute it very well. So let's talk about cooldowns like that. Use that. Perhaps if you're a Discipline Priest, you could Spirit Shell. As I said, recommended people just standing there. But just build up some mastery beforehand. Tanks are going to need a cooldown. They'll hopefully call that out for you, but otherwise, it's called Overwhelming Assault. Okay, it's going to happen every 45 seconds. Essentially, just keep an eye on the DBM timers and throw out hand to sack a few seconds before him. See them taking damage, just help them out. Tanks will get hit hard. But it's a pretty straightforward first phase. Just got to be avoiding the tornadoes. Now let's talk about the crazy shit. At this point, you likely would have came from that away where the entrance, the exit essentially is. You would have come all the way up here. And the tornadoes, when he hits his transition, are going to suck you up. They're going to pull you to the middle, and they're going to carry you all the way back to the start. Now, what's going to happen is there's going to be a good amount of damage going on. Depending on how much DPS you have, the more stacks the intensity. But you have nothing, you have no control about that, so don't worry about that. You're all going to start here, and there's going to be those lanes of tornadoes. We're assuming you know that part. In terms of what you got to do to stay on top of your game as a healer, it's going to be a bit strange, okay? You're not going to be able to stop. Definitely can't stop. So here's a few tips and tricks that I've come up with that I've seen work really, really, really well. Okay, first of all, before the tornadoes suck you in, right? Before they pick you up and take you over here, Discipline Priest, Spirit Shell, stack it. Doesn't matter how many priests you have, stack as much absorption on the people you have beforehand. Okay, we're going to do this by spec, hopefully. In terms of, it doesn't matter, just heal everyone. Spirit Shell everyone, okay? Check number 1. Holy Priests. Not a lot of options you have here, but you can put a light well down in the middle before this happens, and it'll be up for the second run back. So I'd recommend doing that. Don't use the glyph, as if people are too low from it and they pass by it, it'll only heal one person anyway before it incurs the cooldown or whatever. So that's a Holy Priest. As you're running, you can use whatever heals you have, but in terms of preparation, next up is going to be Shaman. Okay, now Shaman don't really have a lot of options here. Spirit Walker's Grace is not a very good cooldown for this, although it ideally looks like it will be. It doesn't line up very well, and it takes you so long to get up and down this hallway that it's not necessarily ideal. But definitely use it. Chain heal on the move. Perhaps go Glyph of Riptide or whatever you got to do. Get some hots out. Just try to keep yourself alive and use instant heals when you can. I would definitely recommend saving your totem options for when you get there. Okay, so obviously you're going to run once everyone's there, drop your totems once you're there. Going to come back, do it again if you can. In terms of Holy Pallies, okay, what you can do is, you need to do is, I would definitely recommend, this is definitely a fight for Holy Prism, okay, as you can use it on the move. It's essentially another heal on the move. Light's Hammer won't really help you at any point in this fight. Holy Prism won't really either, but at least you could heal on the move with it. I did not have the foresight to use it. I don't know why. I wasn't thinking about it, I guess. But definitely use it. Stack as much mastery bubbles before he picks you up as possible, okay? And definitely build 5 points up in Holy Power, okay? Because what you can do is, you could hit a Light of Dawn off, use a Holy Shock, get another 3-point Light of Dawn off, and that's going to be substantial healing for everyone. Then you're kind of fucked. You're waiting for cooldowns to line up so you can instant heal. Now, most important two specs remaining. Okay, we'll do monks first, as they're the second most important in my opinion. Monks can do this so well, it's not even funny. Okay, do it before the nerf comes. Renewing Mists, get as much up with the T as you can, get as many stacks as possible, and as soon as you hit the ground, uplift. Okay, use revitalization, revitalizing mist, whatever it's called. Get people up as fast as you can. You have the best cooldowns for this possible, but it's not the most effective, and I'll tell you why when it comes to Druid. It is definitely the best. You definitely have the best healing on the move. You could freaking spinning crane kick while you move up the hallway. You could bounce, the chi wave, whatever the talent you're using is. Renewing Mist bouncing, uplift coming, like all kinds of stuff. But you have to prepare spirit. You have to prepare your chi, and you have to make sure you have as much Renewing Mist on as possible before the tornadoes go out, so you can get another stack up when they do subside, and then you could uplift everyone. Number 1 tip to take away from this: Resto Druids. Okay, check this out. Somebody let me know this information. I guess most people likely do know this, but it seemed like a revolutionary idea for me. I didn't even know it was an option. Resto Druids can give Symbiosis to a Shaman and get Spirit Walker's Grace. Now, what does that do for you? Probably not much. Definitely does nothing for the rest of the fight, but that means you could Trank on the move. Use Tranquility on the fucking move. Are you kidding me? How insane is that? If you have 2 Resto Druids that could Trank on the move, this phase is, the damage might as well not even be there. Save the Tranks, pop Spirit Walker's Grace, and frickin' Trank on the move. As you're running up the hallway, everybody's getting healed up. Probably don't want to use them both on one pass. Don't forget you're going to have to come back. But in terms of healing, it's not a huge stretch. Once you're actually at the boss, just pop everything. It should be completely obvious. You shouldn't need a guide for that at that point. Just freaking pop everything you have and heal everyone up and get ready to do it again. But just remember, you could bop off the bleed. You could double hand attack the tank. As a Holy Pally or a Mastery is not really too useful in this fight, but it can be used as you're running up the hallway. And just count on them Druids and Monks, man, because they are going to freaking carry you on this fight. If you can get moving Tranks, Renewing Mist moving, let me just say, man, you are mint condition. So that's it. Not too bad. We're moving through this place. It's definitely a bit harder than I thought, but I'll be getting these guides out. So I'll see you guys on the next one, man. If you have questions about anything like that, just let me know.